Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to our lecturer, Dr. Azlan, and to my fellow friends. Today, we are from Group 7. We'll do a presentation about religion and cosmology in Southeast Asia. So, for the first one, I will talk about Malaysia. Religion and cosmology in Malaysia. The first majority religion in Malaysia is Islam. Islam is the predominant religion of the country and it is recognized as the state's official religion. It is practiced by about 60% of Malaysians. Islam was introduced by traders arriving from Arabia, China, and the Indian subcontinent. It became firmly established in the 5th century. In the Constitution of Malaysia, Islam is granted as the religion of the state federation to symbolize its importance of Malaysian society. Buddhism is currently the second largest religious denomination in Malaysia after Islam. There are approximately 5.4 million Buddhist adherents in the country, comprising 19.2% of the population of 28.3 million. Buddhism was introduced to the Malays and also to the people of the Malay archipelago as early as 200 BCE. Chinese written sources indicated that some 30 small Indianese states rose and fell in the Malay Peninsula. Malay Buddhism began when Indian traders and pirates travelling the maritime routes and brought with them Indian concept of religion, government, and the arts. The next one is Hinduism in the Malaysia. The majority of the Tamils, who make up 9% of Malaysia's population, practice Hinduism. Hinduism was influential prior to Islam, but current adherents are mostly descended from migrant communities from Tamil Nadu who came to Malaya to work on British rubber plantation. Deepavali is a primary Hindu festival in Malaysia. The Malaysian Hindus traditionally hold open houses over Deepavali, where people of different ethnic groups and religions are welcome in Hindus' homes. The last one is Christianity in the Malaysia. About 10% of the population of Malaysia are Christians, mostly non-Malay Bumiputra, also including some Malaysian Chinese and Malaysian Indians minorities. Catholicism was brought by Portuguese in the 5th century, followed by Protestantism with the Dutch in 1644. As Portuguese influence declined, Protestantism began to eclipse Catholicism. Christianity spread further through missionaries who arrived during British rule in the 19th century and introduced Christianity to East Malaysia. Next, I will continue with Singapore. The majority religion in Singapore is Buddhism. A large plurality of Singaporeans declare themselves as Buddhists, with 31.1% of the Singaporean population being Buddhist in 2020 census. Occasionally, Buddhist monks from the West, such as Ajahn Brahm, who resided in Australia, is invited to Singapore to give Buddhist talk to the public. Additionally, there are also Buddhist societies set up in Singapore tertiary institutions such as NUS Buddhist Society, Ngin An Polytechnic Buddhist Society, Singapore Polytechnic Buddhist Society, and SMU Dharma Circle have encouraged youth in Singapore gain a better insight into Buddhism. The next one is Christianity in Singapore. 18.9% of Singaporeans identify as Christians in the 2020 census. Christianity was introduced to Singapore by Anglicans, among the first British settlers to arrive shortly after the founding of modern Singapore by Stamford Raffles. The percentage of Christians in Singapore increased from 12.7% in 1990 to 14.6% in 2000. With the 2015 census showed the Christian population increased again to 18.8. The next one is Islam in the Singapore. 15.6% of the resident population in Singapore registered themselves as Muslim. Most mosques in Singapore cater to Sunni Muslim due to the vast majority of Singaporean Muslims adhering to the Sunni Shafi'i or Hanafi schools of thought, although there are mosques that cater to the needs of the Shia community as well. The last one is Taoism in the Singapore. Taoism in Singapore is the religion of 8.8% of the entire population in 2020, declining from 10.9% in 2010 census. Taoism first arrived in Singapore with the first Chinese settlers to the country. The majority of these settlers worshipped Mazu to guide them safely on their arrival in a new foreign country. Taoist practice later flourished as an increasing number of Chinese merchants and coolie settlers in Singapore.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURHASANAH binti Ali MUSTAMAN 22000465, and today I'm going to talk about religion and cosmology in Brunei and Vietnam. Brunei's population is predominantly Sunni Muslim, and about 82.70% of the population is Muslim, although the Chinese usually follow Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, or Christianity. Some of the indigenous peoples are Christian, while others follow their own local religions. So what is Sunni Muslim? Sunni Muslims strongly believe that the redemption of human beings is dependent on faith in Allah, His Prophet, acceptance of Muhammad as the final prophet, and belief in righteous deeds as explained in the Quran. Islam was adopted in 15th century when a Malay Muslim was installed as Sultan. The Sultan traditionally was responsible for upholding Islamic traditions, although the responsibility was usually delegated to appointed officials. However, freedom of religion is guaranteed in Brunei. The minority are free to practice their religion. Christianity in Brunei is the second largest religion practiced by about 7.1% of the population as of 2016. But there are restrictions on religious freedom in Brunei, and some of it are contact with Christians in other countries, the import of Bibles, and public celebration of Christmas are banned by decree. Buddhism is the third largest religion after state religion of Brunei, Islam and Christianity. Mahayana Buddhism is the most popular, and alongside ancestor worship, Taoism and Confucianism as one, which is the traditional faith of general Han Chinese people. Next is Hinduism. Hinduism is practiced by a minority of ethnic Tamil. Almost the entire Hindu community in Brunei is made up of people of Indian origin. The approximate size is a few thousand. Next is religion and cosmology in Vietnam. As a communist country, Vietnam is officially an atheist state. Even so, most Vietnamese are not atheists, but believe in a combination of three religions: Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Buddhism was introduced in Vietnam in the 2nd century. At the time of the Le dynasty, it became the state religion. It subsequently lost its state religion status, but remained as the belief of the majority of people, permeating Vietnamese culture. While most Vietnamese today would identify themselves as Buddhists, not all of them actively participate in Buddhist rituals at the pagodas. The Buddhism practiced in Vietnam is Mahayana Buddhism, also widely practiced in China, Korea, and Japan. Next religion is Confucianism. Confucianism was founded in China by Confucius. He stressed the importance of improving one's moral and believed that this was strategic in improving the well-being of a society. According to Confucianism, there are 5 important virtues that have to be cultivated, including benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and fidelity. The last religion that has been practiced in Vietnam is Taoism. Taoism is derived from the Chinese word Tao, which means way or road. Like Confucianism, Taoism originated in China and did not begin as a religion but as a philosophy. Taoism was founded by Laozi between 600 and 500 before century. It is said that Confucius had the opportunity to meet Laozi and spoke highly of him. And there are minority religions such as Catholicism and Protestantism being practiced in Vietnam. And they also have new religion belief which is Taoism and Haoism.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AMMAR RAHIMIE bin RAZALI and my metric number is 2200445. Today I will talk and elaborate about religion and cosmology in Philippines and Cambodia. First of all, we need to know that religion in Philippines is marked by a majority of the people being adherent of Christian faith. At least 88% of the population is Christian and about 79% belong to Catholic Church, while about 9% of belong to Protestantism, Orthodoxy, Restorationist, and Independent Catholicism and other denominations. The majority of the Muslim live in part of Mindanao, Palawan, and Sulu archipelago, which is an area known as Bangsamoro or the Moro region. Most Muslim Filipinos practice Sunni Islam. Next, Buddhism is practiced by 2% of the population by the Japanese Filipino community, and together with Taoism and Chinese folk religion is also dominant in Chinese community, and there are also smaller number of followers of Sikhism, Hinduism as well. So from here we can see clearly that most of the people in the Philippines are Christian, followed by Islam, and there are some minority groups who believe in other religion. Okay, I will explain about Christianity in the Philippines. Christianity came to the Philippines by Spain introduced the Christianity to the Philippines in 1565 with the arrival of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. There continued to be a process of cultural adaptation and synthesis of Christianity into the local culture since introduction of religion into the Philippines. The denomination of Christianity that became most embedded in Filipino culture is Catholicism, which was introduced in the Philippines during the early colonial period by the Spanish. In terms of other Christian denomination, there are a strong presence of Protestant tradition in the Philippines, in part due to United States colonization of the state. Many teachers from the United States were Protestant who are responsible for the instituting and controlling the public education system of the country. Okay, let's move to Cambodia. Majority of the population in Cambodia is Buddhist, and there are small number of people who are Muslims, which is approximately 1.9%, followed by Christian with 0.4%. Next, about the Buddhism in Cambodia. The prominent form of Buddhism practiced in Cambodia is Theravada Buddhism. Followers of Theravada Buddhism take refuge in the Triple Gem, the teacher, which is Buddha, the teaching, which is Dharma, and the monastic community, which is the Sangha. These three elements of Buddhism provide a sense of stability within the Cambodian society by offering structure for people to base their everyday routines, which is Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Next, I will talk about Islam in Cambodia. Islam is the religion of a majority of the Cham, also called Khmer Islam, and Malay minorities in Cambodia.
Hi, I am 2200457 AZNI SYAKIRAH binti Abdul Aziz. I'm going to present about the religion and cosmology in the Southeast Asia country, which is Indonesia. As everyone knows, Indonesia is one of the biggest country in the world, where the population is equivalent to the 3.51% of the world population. So next, it is about Islam in Indonesia. Indonesia is not an Islam country, but 88% of its citizens identifying as Islam, and it has made Indonesia become the world's most populous Muslim majority country. Over the 15th and 16th century, the spread of the Islam accelerated via the missionary work of the Maulana Malik Ibrahim. So the vast majority of Islam practice Sunni Islam, while the remaining Muslim are Shia. They are most concentrated in Aceh. Second, it is Christianity in Indonesia. So, the Indonesian government has officially acknowledged the two major Christian denomination in the country, which is Protestantism and Roman Catholic. The Protestantism, with the 7.60 population in 2018, have been declared as second largest religion, followed by the Catholic with 3.12%. Christianity was brought by the German Lutheran missionary, who is known as the apostle of the Batak people. The third one is Hinduism in the Indonesia. So Hindu culture and religion arrived in the archipelago around the 2nd century, which later formed the basis of the several Hindu-Buddhist kingdoms, such as Majapahit. The Hinduism has been referred as Agama Hindu Dharma in Indonesia, have formerly applied to the caste system. Hindu has been numbered about 4 million, with 1.7% of the Indonesian population. Last, it is a Buddha. So the Buddha in Indonesia is the second oldest religion, where they arrived in the 6th century. So the arrival of the Buddha was started with the trading activities that began in the early 1st century of the Silk Road between Indonesia and India. Around 0.7% population are Buddhist, which take about 2 million people. So most of the Buddhists are concentrated in Jakarta and are known as Chinese Indonesia. And next, I'm going to pass for the next presenter.
Excluding the law that states the king must be Buddhist, there is no official Thailand religion, meaning all Thai people enjoy religious freedom. However, Buddhism is the most common Thailand religion with approximately 95% of the population following this Theravada religion. For the first one, Buddhism in Thailand. For Buddhism, Thailand Buddhist population is largely of the Theravada traditional, however, has also adopted Chinese and folk beliefs such as ancestor worship. Buddhism is the Thailand religion responsible for the majority of the country's spectacular temples, with Buddhist temples renowned for their tall domes, golden state, unique architecture, and amazing detail. Buddhist cosmography stood at the core of Siamese Buddhist belief for centuries, serving as an all-embracing statement of the world as seen through Siamese Buddhist eyes, as well as a primary instrument for educating subject of the Siamese king in Buddhist values. Islam in Thailand. Thailand Muslim population is scattered throughout the country with the largest concentration found on the southern peninsula and in Bangkok. Islam is the second largest Thailand religion and is a multicultural religion comprised of a number of ethnic groups including Indonesia, China, Malaysia, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Cambodia. Hindu in Thailand. Influence of the Khmer Empire and many Hindu deities form the namesakes of some of Thailand's most well-known places. Hinduism also influences the remaining Buddhist population of Thailand, with many people also worshipping Hindu deities such as Shiva, Indra, and Ganesh. The main Hindu practices which remain today include blessing by holy string, holy water, pour from conch shells, and Brahmin rituals. Next is Christian. Introduced by European missionaries, Christianity has been a Thailand religion since the 1950s and has since played an important role in the modernization of the country, yet it represents less than 1% of the national population. Next is Judaism. As a Thailand religion dates all the way back to the 17th century, however, Jewish community make up only a very small part of the Thai population and estimate 1,000 people follow Judaism, the majority of which are said to reside in Chiang Mai, Koh Samui, Phuket, and Bangkok. Myanmar. There are 5 religions in Myanmar. First is Buddhism. Buddhism is deeply embedded in Burmese culture and has become associated with the national identity of the Burma. The prominent form of Buddhism practiced in Myanmar is Theravada Buddhism. Second is Christian. Christianity is the second largest religion in Myanmar. Its followers mostly belong to indigenous ethnic minorities that converted through European missionary work in their regions. The biggest traditions are Roman Catholicism and Protestantism. Next is animist belief in Myanmar. Though the majority of the indigenous ethnicity of the Myanmar have converted to Buddhism, Christianity or Islam people often incorporate animist belief into their understanding of organized religion, heart practices, and daily life. Most of these traditional beliefs involve spirit worship. For example, Buddhists tend to believe that nuts, spirits, dwell in natural objects or phenomena such as rivers. There are nut shrines across the country where people can make offerings for protection or success.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Rafiq Faisal bin AMRAN 2200466. Today I want to talk about the religion and cosmology about the 2 different countries, which is East Timor and Laos. First of all, about the Timor-Leste or East Timor. East Timor or Timor-Leste, officially the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, is a country in maritime Southeast Asia. Next, the Constitution provides for freedom of conscience or worship and religion instruction. There is no official religions of the country. That means religious organization can register with the government under regulation provided for non-profit organization corporate body. We move to the Christianity in Timor-Leste. In the early 16th century, Portuguese and Dutch traders made contact with East Timor. A Dominican mission was sent by the Bishop of Malacca to Solo in 1562 and became established at Lifau in present-day East Timor is in 1941. Next is Indonesia invaded East Timor in 1975 and annexed the former Portuguese colony. That means the church played an important role in society during the Indonesian occupation of East Timor. Last one is Islam in Timor-Leste. Islam is a minority religion in the East Timor. Based on the US National Department and the CIA, World Factbook estimate that Muslims make up only 1% of the country's total population. Next, we talk about the religion for Laos. At Laos, Theravada Buddhism is the largest religion in Laos, which is practiced by 66% of the population. In Laos also have the Laotian folk religion, which is predominant among most Lao Chang, Lao Sang, the Sino-Thai group such as the Thai Dam and Thai Dang, as well as among Mon Khmer and Tibetan Burman group. The Buddhism in Laos. Theravada Buddhism is by far the most organized religion in the country, with nearly 5,000 temples serving as the focus of religious practice as well as the center of the community life in rural area. Christianity in Laos. As we know, Christianity is a minority religion in Laos. There are 3 recognized churches in Laos, which is the Lao Evangelical Church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and the Roman Catholic Church. They all are concentrated in major urban centers and surrounding areas along the Mekong River in the central and southern regions of the country. Next one is the folk religion in Laos. Laotian folk religion or folk religions is an overarching term for the ethnic religion practiced by 30.7% of the population of Laos. The religions are pantheistic and polytheistic and involve classes of shamans. The category comprehended tradition for the Lao and other Thai Kadai people. Last but not least, about the Islam in Laos. As we know, in Laos, Buddhists are the majority nation with the official, organized and recognized Muslim population approximately constituting only 0.01% of the total population as of 2008. The majority of Laotian Muslims are Sunni. Laotian Muslims can be found in the capital of Vientiane, which has 2 mosques, as well as other urban areas such as Savannakhet and Audomexie, the latter of which had a mosque constructed there in June 2006.